A life marked by darkness, the early crimes of David Maust. David Edward Maust. The name itself sends a chill down your spine. He was born in Connellsville, Pennsylvania in 1954. His childhood was anything but normal. It was a breeding ground for the darkness that would consume him. Maust's troubled upbringing, marked by abuse and neglect, cast a long shadow. At the tender age of 15, he committed his first murder. The victim? A 13-year-old boy named James McClister. Maust lured James under false pretenses, taking him to a secluded area near a lake. There, he brutally ended James's life, forever silencing his laughter. This act of unspeakable violence marked the beginning of a terrifying pattern. It was a pattern that would haunt Maust's future and leave a trail of devastation in its wake. This first murder offered a chilling glimpse into the depths of Maust's depravity. It was a stark warning, tragically ignored. The world would learn in the most horrifying way that David Maust was just getting started. The mask of deception, luring innocence with charm and lies. David Maust possessed a disturbing ability. He could blend in, appearing almost ordinary. This facade masked a sinister reality. He was a master manipulator, skilled at deception and exploiting trust. Maust specifically targeted vulnerable young people. He often approached them in public places, using various ruses to gain their confidence. Sometimes he posed as an employer, offering odd jobs. Other times he pretended to be a friendly stranger, offering help or companionship. His words were carefully chosen, a web of lies spun to entrap unsuspecting victims. He preyed on their innocence, their desire for connection, their trust in the world around them. Many described Maust as charming, even charismatic. This superficial charm, coupled with his calculated lies, proved to be a deadly combination. He understood the power of manipulation, the art of disarming his victims before striking. Maust's methods were a chilling reminder that evil often hides in plain sight, concealed behind a disarming smile and carefully constructed lies. The Shadow of 1980. Angela's story and a killer's depravity. The year 1980 saw Maust's dark impulses resurface with terrifying force. This time his victim was 17-year-old Angela Stone. Like his previous victim, Angela was lured into a trap. Maust, using a false name and promising a job, convinced Angela to get into his car. Her trust was betrayed in the most horrific way imaginable. Maust drove Angela to a secluded area. He then brutally murdered her, adding another innocent soul to his growing list of victims. In an attempt to conceal his crime, Maust disposed of Angela's body in a remote location. He likely believed he had buried his sin along with her, but the earth, it seemed, wouldn't keep his secret forever. The discovery of Angela's remains would send shockwaves through the community and ignite a firestorm of fear and outrage. The brutality of the crime, the callous disregard for human life, left an indelible scar on the hearts of those who knew and loved Angela. A flawed system's failure, a sentence cut short, a shadow set free. Maust was eventually apprehended and charged with Angela Stone's murder. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison. For a brief moment, it seemed justice had been served, but the justice system, flawed and imperfect, would fail to keep this monster behind bars. After serving a mere 16 years of his sentence, David Maust was granted parole. The decision was a catastrophic miscalculation. It demonstrated a chilling disregard for the gravity of his crimes and the potential danger he posed. The system had not rehabilitated him. It had simply provided a temporary cage for a predator. Maust's early release would have devastating consequences. It allowed him to walk free, a predator disguised as a parolee, ready to resume his reign of terror. The decision to parole David Maust stands as a haunting reminder of the limitations of our justice system and the devastating consequences of its failures. Section 5. The cycle of evil released too soon, Maust claims more victims. Upon his release, David Maust didn't hesitate to return to his horrific ways. He was a man possessed, driven by dark urges he seemed unable to control. He continued to prey on young people, often transient teens or runaways, those he believed were less likely to be missed. His methods remained disturbingly consistent: manipulation, false promises, and ultimately brutal violence. Maust's victims were more than just names on a police report. They were sons, daughters, friends, individuals with hopes and dreams, their futures stolen by a predator who was allowed to roam free. The years following his release were a terrifying testament to the failures of the system that had deemed him fit to re-enter society. Each new victim served as a chilling reminder. David Maust had not been rehabilitated, he had merely been given another opportunity to kill. Section 6, Justice Delayed but Delivered, the final arrest and a life behind bars. In 2003, the nightmare finally ended. David Maust was arrested once again. This time, the evidence against him was overwhelming. The bodies of 3 young men were discovered entombed in concrete in the basement of his Indiana home. Their names, forever etched in the annals of true crime, were Michael Dennis, James Regagne, and Nicholas James. Maust, confronted with the undeniable evidence of his crimes, confessed. He revealed a chilling pattern of murder and depravity that spanned decades. This time, justice would not be denied. Maust was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The sentence ensured that he would never again walk free, that he would never again have the opportunity to harm another innocent soul. Section 7, Echoes of Unanswered Questions, the Ghost of Rehabilitation's Promise. David Maust's case raises disturbing questions about the efficacy of rehabilitation, particularly for individuals who commit heinous crimes. Was Maust truly incapable of change, or did the system fail to provide him with the tools and support he needed to confront his demons? The answers remain elusive, lost in the darkness of Maust's psyche and the complexities of the criminal justice system. His story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the limitations of rehabilitation and the enduring debate over punishment versus redemption. Can some individuals be rehabilitated? Is there a point at which certain acts are so monstrous, so indicative of an irredeemably broken soul, that rehabilitation becomes an impossible dream? These are questions that linger long after the gavel falls, questions that society continues to grapple with as we seek to balance justice with the hope of redemption. Section 8. The uncomfortable truth: can some evils be rehabilitated? David Maust's life poses a chilling question. Are some individuals simply born evil? Can a system designed to rehabilitate truly address the darkness that resides within certain souls? His brutal acts spanning decades suggest a chilling possibility. Some evils are deeply ingrained, woven into the very fabric of a person's being. This realization is unsettling, challenging our notions of redemption and the potential for change. It compels us to confront the uncomfortable truth that some individuals may be beyond the reach of rehabilitation. The debate surrounding rehabilitation is complex. It requires careful consideration of individual circumstances, the nature of the crimes committed, and the potential for genuine remorse and transformation. David Maust's case, however, suggests that there are limits to rehabilitation, that some individuals may be so profoundly corrupted that true change remains forever out of reach. Section 9, A Legacy of Loss, a Plea for Vigilance, Remembering the Victims, Safeguarding the Innocent. David Maust's reign of terror may have ended, but the scars he left on the lives of his victims and their families remain. Their stories serve as a poignant reminder of the human cost of evil, the enduring pain left in the wake of violence. We must remember their names, honor their memories, and continue to fight for a world where such tragedies are prevented. The fight against predators like Maust demands unwavering vigilance. It requires us to educate ourselves and our children about the tactics used by predators. We must create communities where vulnerability is met with support and where reporting suspicions is encouraged and taken seriously. Let us honor the memory of those lost by working tirelessly to prevent future tragedies. We can make a difference, one act of awareness, one conversation, one step towards a safer world at a time. Only then can we truly begin to heal the wounds of the past and build a future where such horrors no longer haunt our present.